to another episode of Gardeners of the Earth, where I go into, let's say, my research on biodiversity. We are here for the general assembly. Barcelona, you can see the campus of the university, the C University, let's call it that way. And they're in the CSIC, not to be mistaken with being CSIC, but the institute that studies the sea, clearly. We had the opportunity to interact with all the partners and discuss our progress. Now the thing is that I'm actually, for this specific European project, kind of at the end for me personally, as the months I can invest in developing tools to research biodiversity, specifically interactions between species and how they are important for also predicting where species can be found. So that's nearing its end, and I need to send in my deliverables showing the tools I have developed for it. Same scenario is kind of for the other technical partners, so we're kind of having to wrap up our initial working versions of the tools, and then see how case study users can utilize those tools to achieve their objectives. One of those case studies is here in Barcelona, working on the Barcelona beaches and trying to restore, monitor as much of the nature they have here on the beaches with the dunes. So the project is called Biodiversity project from the team here in Barcelona, where they try to combine citizen science with biodiversity observations here in the dunes. So biology, beaches in the metropolitan area, where we were invited and you are invited to use their application Minka to make as many observations as possible, so that we can do a good job of monitoring nature and what the impact is. And one of those beaches is actually directly next to the airport. How to protect birds. This is just always, let's say, a nature protected area where birds coming from Europe to spend the winter in Africa, this is one of the places where they actually like to land and have a bit of a rest, and that doesn't match that ideally with the airport, which is straight next to it. So we have also the case studies in Greece on seeing where's best place for wind farms. There's also an important component on birds there as well. And then we have France, Madagascar, looking at infrastructure projects and their impact. Madagascar I refer to in one of the earlier videos on this, as of course that's just an incredible biodiversity hotspot, having also a lot of coffee species. So some coffee Arabica and Robusta is actually growing there or being planted there for producing coffee and consumption. I think at this point mainly locally, but in the past it was actually an important or more important place for coffee production. But so we have wildlife relatives living there in Madagascar, so of course I was quite interested in that case study. And so that deals with what's the impact of putting in a new railway, crossing a landscape, or a new highway. Where is the best place to actually do that, hopefully impacting nature as with the least amount as is possible, realizing that some of these infrastructure things, most of them just need to happen because there's a human need to do that. But clearly, knowing up front where the important areas are for your biodiversity, what happens when you divide a landscape into two, is it better to keep one bigger area and then a smaller area? These are all very important questions we're trying to answer with the tools we developed for garden. Now, you could kind of consider the state that we're in as the Saga Familias as we have it here, as that is also something that has been constructed over the ages. So none of us is, of course, as old as that project, but sometimes it feels like it's taking ages to get this knowledge through all layers of our society. Everybody should know what's happening with the nature around us, and we're being confronted with it all the time. Look at coffee prices and cacao prices this year, especially coffee prices, because of the harvest going really difficult in Brazil. That's still the biggest Arabica producer in the world. And so all this change in climate is not helping us coffee drinkers. So that's how you see that my work here on Garden does have broader relevance, especially for coffee enthusiasts out there. Thanks for following this episode and this series. So although my work is officially kind of rounding up, and that's mainly the like programming development time I have on it, I will stay involved with it throughout the run of this project. And who knows, the next assembly might feature some more Belgium activities. Let's put it this way. So thanks for seeing this episode, and hope to see you on a next one.